Yes. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting held December 6th?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That is approved. We have one person signed up to speak to the board on a non-agenda item. The board sets aside a portion of each meeting agenda to hear from community members on items of general interest or concern, as well as regular agenda items. Comments are limited 5 minutes, and we'll let you know when you have 1 minute remaining so you can wrap up your comments, since there's only one person. If there are multiple people, we would encourage you to coordinate, but only one today. When you're called to the podium, please identify yourself, your address, and the organization you represent for the record of the meeting. If you have any visual aids or handouts, please see a member of our communications team prior to the meeting. They will help you distribute the information and approve any item to be shown for public viewing. The board does not take comments during this time on any personnel matters, and all meeting attendees are expected to treat others with respect and civility. The board will not respond to individual comments, and staff may be requested to follow up as needed following the meeting. Thank you for coming tonight, and we welcome Chad Bishop as our speaker today.
I realized Ian's gone, so.
Oh, is this the QR?
The irony here is not lost on me.
Brought us chocolate.
Chocolate. My name is Chad Bishop. I live at 7405 South Valencia Drive here in Sioux Falls. I'm representing myself. As the largest school district in the state with over 1,800 teachers and 24,000 students under your care, what you do here matters. At the last meeting of this body on December 6th of 2021, you approved the updates to the Continue to Learn plan. I would respectfully request that your document be updated to reflect the approval of 5 to 11-year-olds, or for vaccination of 5 to 11-year-olds is only authorized under the emergency use authorization. In addition, in my August 24th statement to this body, I requested that anywhere the status of voluntarily vaccinated were given specific or preferential treatment, that you update the document to reflect the COVID-19 recovered be included in this statement. I am saddened to see this has not yet been done. I would ask why. I realize that you can't respond right now, but I do have some questions. How many cases of reinfection have been documented in the district? The Argus Leader reports on October 17th that better than 99% of all South Dakotans who have either been vaccinated or recovered from COVID-19 have not tested positive or tested positive again. The number for the COVID-19 recovered given was closer to 0.6%. It has been 22 months since the first case of COVID-19 was diagnosed in the state, and less than 1% have been reinfected according to the state epidemiologist from our own empirical data. Admittedly, there has been some confusion around what the vaccine does, can do, can't do. For instance, on July 21st of this year, while speaking to Don Lemon, the president said, and I quote, you're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations. Now, there would be those who claim in defense, well, the science has changed, so the policy should change. I might offer the rebuttal that the science didn't really change, but the data did. Arguably, the data that should have been collected prior to approval, prior to mandates, prior to threatening people's jobs or to implementing a medical apartheid and violating their civil rights as now is being done in New York City. Because now here we are in the position where just yesterday, fully vaxxed and fully boosted Senators Warren and Booker have tested positive for COVID-19. How many senators are there in the United States Senate? 100. That's a 2% breakthrough rate, undeniable and front and center. Again, the South Dakota Department of Health has reported less than a 1% reinfection rate for the COVID-19 recovered. These were just positive PCR tests, not antibody verified, by the way. Again, please inform me why you're treating voluntarily vaccinated person or child differently from the COVID-19 recovered. Now, I pray the vaccine is effective in preventing their severe illness. That seems to be its only purpose at this point. But are we now at a point where we can be honest about the necessity of requiring vaccination for those who have already recovered from the disease? The purported impetus for the mandates for firings for violation of civil rights and the implementation of medical apartheid is to prevent the spread to the vulnerable who might succumb. Could fully vaccinated Senators Booker and Warren spread the virus once infected? For myself, I have to simplify things in order to understand them. It is my understanding that the vaccines on offer generate S-type antibodies, represented by this Dove chocolate. Comparatively, it is my understanding infection-induced immunity generates not only S-type, but also N-type. In addition, there are 24 other antibodies generated from infection. Lastly, there's the IgA antibodies generated from the mucosal layer of the lungs and the respiratory system. Now, the experts tell us that the boosters are required because we need higher blood serum levels of that single vaccine-induced IgG antibody to ward off the severe effects of COVID-19. However, a simple person like myself is under the impression that once our memory B cells have made those antibodies once, it will make them again within hours of re-exposure. Of course, I have no expertise in this domain. I welcome corrections offered in good faith. I would request that you please update your policies to reflect both the science and the current data. As of today, there have been 148,334 cases documented by the South Dakota Department of Health per the statements. Excuse me. I think I got stuck here before. The question I ask, my apologies. It's a problem when you can't write, you know you can't write, and you also don't have time to proofread. The question I ask them is, why aren't we doing the serology, and why don't we know the answer to the question of what number of South Dakotans are COVID-19 recovered as verified by either antibody or adaptive T-cell response assays? There's over 974 million for COVID-19 relief in the state treasury right now. In an attempt to use science to resolve. Thank you.
Thank you, Chad.
Anybody want a chocolate?
Maybe after. Thank you. We'll move on to approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The agenda is approved. No new conflicts of interest were presented. We'll move on to the consent agenda, items 8A through H. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That is approved. On to the supplemental consent agenda, item 9A. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. I have a motion and second on 9A. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. That carries with one abstention from Board Member Ryder. On to 9B, claims to Avera McKinnon. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That passes with one abstention from Board Member Parker. Anything else for the good of the board? Seeing none, do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. Thank you.